Hi, kids.
I have to keep my hand out of the frame when we start.
Oh, okay.
No. Let's keep going.
Welcome to our first video edition of Bad Pop Song.
Yay! Work in progress.
Yes. And of course, this edition is going to be a film edition.
Yay!
So, you all know that I am Bo.
Hi, Bo.
If you didn't already know what I look like in person, this is what I look like. And if those of you who didn't already know what Daniel looked like in person.
Yeah, I'm gray and furry.
So Dan, tell us more.
Yes. So, for future episodes of this, you can view us on YouTube, but also to get all the information that you need, go over to badpopsong.com. There you'll find links to the videos and the audios and the Bo music and articles he's written, all kinds of things. Everything Bo.
Everything Bo.
We like Bo.
You're gonna just be bowed out.
Oh yeah.
When it's all
so
done.
Bo.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today?
So yes, in this movie edition of Bad Pop Song, we are going to be talking about the latest in the Bad Boys franchise.
Oh no.
It is we fans will call it Bad Boys 4, but it is really called Bad Boys Ride or Die. And yes, it is the fourth in the series. And let me tell you a little something about my sort of passion for Bad Boys.
Passion.
It all started in 1995. I took a sweet little hot date. Took a little trick with me to see Bad Boys in theater, first run, our first date. Didn't really go anywhere, but that's not the point.
Hey, what can you do?
Yeah. So, I think that the movie was probably the most worthwhile thing out of the whole dating venture. But yes, that the first Bad Boys, which came out in 1995, of course, stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. And the first film also had co-star Joe Pantoliano, Téa Leoni. Joe Pantoliano has gone on to be in the next 3 installments of the film. Well, here's the thing. I had to wait 8 years for the next Bad Boys.
Right.
So it was Bad Boys 2, which came out in 2003.
Yep.
Saw that with a couple of my homies. So it made it extra fun. And Bad Boys 3, I won't get too much into the controversy between my homies that we still sort of fight about the movie. There's sort of a very questionable scene in the movie that my one friend and I it's one of our favorite parts of the film, but then my other buddy finds it pretty problematic. And I look back at it now, he really does have a point, but I don't know if you sort of I don't know. It's a touchy subject.
It's a pina colada thing.
It's touchy. So so I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for Bad Boys 3. I mean I didn't think I would. Okay, I thought, I waited 8 years for Bad Boys 2. Okay, maybe 5 years. I'll have to wait. 5 years comes and goes. 10 years. 10 years is it's 10 years now, and it still no Bad Boys 3, and I'm just like, what's going on? Is this ever going to happen?
It's one of those things where it's like an eclipse. It happens once every several decades.
17 years, Dan.
Jeez.
It took 17 years for Bad Boys 3, which is called Bad Boys for Life. Which is sort of their stick, because they're lifelong friends.
Yeah,
So they throughout all of the 4 films, it's just Bad Boys for Life, but Yeah, it took 17 years and a completely different director. It is all four films have stayed in the Sony, Jerry Bruckheimer production, big industry. Yeah. But the first two films were directed by Michael Bay, and then these last two films were directed by Adil and Bilall, who that's sort of that's kind of how they're collectively billed, but they actually are Adil El Abir and Adel El Arbi and Bilal Falah, and they are Belgian, and the duo made Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now, before I talk about Bad Boys 4, I do want to mention that 17 years I waited for Bad Boys for Life.
Okay.
And it came out during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't see it in a theater. I watched it at home. I streamed it.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that took away some of the magic and all the anticipation that I think I was expecting. To be quite honest, I don't know if that would have had anything to do with it. I really don't. It was a good film.
Yeah.
But it wasn't worth like the 17-year wait. And so in that, as good as it was, it was still a little bit of a letdown.
It didn't live up to the standards set by the first two films.
Considering I waited 17 years.
Okay.
Yes. I will say, though, Bad Boys 4 has lived up to the 17-year plus the 4 additional. It is Bad Boys 4, Bad Boys Ride or Die has lived up to that. It is a fantastic film. And you might be surprised to hear this, but it is a New York Times critics pick. Because I think that it's mainly because I feel like I think some of the reviews that I've seen of it prior to going to see it, I saw it yesterday, they feel like it's gone back to its original form.
Okay.
And just nonstop, just chasing and, shooting and things blowing up and things like that. And, and of course, I think they really pushed hard more like the dynamic of the friendship of Marcus and Mike, of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and and Martin Lawrence, he's Marcus. Marcus is I'd say he's probably more the straight-laced sort of. He's more sort of by the book,
Okay, yeah.
And his humor too is also very like, what? I can't believe it. This is why do I have to put up with this? I've been dealing with you, and of course, Mike Lowry, played by Will Smith. He's very much more like the bad boy, the sports cars, the pristine, the sleek clothes, the ladies' man sort of guy. And so you can see that dynamic really works, I think, with the general public.
Yeah, it's opposites attract sort of thing.
And I think it's always been a favorite of mine, that sort of dynamic. So before I begin, is there anything you'd like to mention or ask me? Or
I've only seen the first one. And the thing that turned me off on that, I mean, it was a nice film as far as the action goes and things like that. The fact that they leaned into the trope of, hey, we're going to swap identities before we even had a really good chance to learn who these people are. That was the one problem I had with that, them pretending to be each other just to help out this one client or whatever she was. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a great gag to have, 2 or 3 movies in, but having it as the first movie and happening within the first 15 minutes, it's like, okay, yeah, that's not really helping us because we don't know who these people are in the first place. So all the humor is lost on me. if I had known who they are beforehand, But and the second one just turned me off from actually watching it, anyways, because it was full blown Michael Bay.
Yes,
It was Michael Bay at his prime.
Yes.
You know, let's just blow everything up, and I was like, yeah, nah, not mine, not gonna be. So I've lost all interest.
Oh.
So sorry.
Can I add something?
Go for it.
I think I feel you. I think a big appeal of the first film of the 1995 Bad Boys, the soundtrack.
Yeah, there you go.
Was just phenomenal.
You're the music guy.
I mean, you had the reggae Diana King song that "Oh Lord have mercy, mercy, mercy," you know. I don't want no shy guy. She wants a shy guy. Sorry, I'm misremembering the lyrics. I don't want a fly guy. I just want a shy guy. You know, that's a great hook. That was such a fun summer song. You know, and 1995. You know, as you know, we've talked in previous music episodes. Mm-hmm. That's one of those years for me as far as music and.
That one was your formative years.
Very formative.
Defined your musical taste.
And of course, also from Bad Boys was the Someone to Love ballad by John B. and Babyface. And of course, I think I sang that nonstop for probably close to a year, if not more. And someone to love, someone to trust, someone to hold, someone to know. You give me, just beautiful mid-90s, soul jam, it's just, and so I think that's another thing why I have such fond memories of the 1995 Bad Boys film.
I could see that, yeah.
Because the soundtrack was just outstanding.
Totally up your alley.
For sure. So, I'll turn it over to you again.
Okay. Since we're already talking about music, does this have a soundtrack that you're completely digging?
It does. I mean, the music is great. I think the last three films did not have the sort of, in my opinion, the memorable music that the first album had. But to be fair, I feel like I'm kind of off the train with contemporary stuff. I mean, I still obviously listen to contemporary music, but I don't, not like I did,
right. It doesn't mean enough to you because of, your young adult mind reading into things.
Yeah, probably not, but nothing memorable compared to the first film anyway. So
are they leaning in at all to the fact that these guys are getting older?
That doesn't really seem to matter. Like, they do have, the thing like I'll give away a few things.
Go ahead.
Without giving away too much. Mike is settling down. Mike gets married at the beginning of the film.
Oh.
Marcus has a heart attack.
Oh no.
So they are dealing with, they're having to mature, and they're also dealing, with health issues and things like that. So, and between the two of them too, they've, in the franchise, they have been shot, and they've sustained injuries, that
any other person, they would have been losing limbs and probably their life.
But they are Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are they're as kick-ass and funny as they've always been, and they all are in all four films, but especially Bad Boys 2, and this Bad Boys 4 installment. So for sure.
How much will this help Will Smith's career at this moment? Because ever since the Oscar incident, he's sort of been backburnered.
Well, he has, But at the same time, I sort of feel like that was so like the media just really blew that out of proportion.
Well, yeah. It doesn't help the fact that it was basically all Jada's fault.
Yeah, I have no issues pinning everything on Jada.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I think she's kind of a basket case, if you ask me.
Just a bit.
But no, if Will Smith's reputation was damaged at all by that slap, this movie has brought him back.
Okay.
But again, if that hurt him at all, which I don't know that it really did, but yeah, this movie is this is like the movie's first like summer blockbuster. This movie, like last I checked, it made like $50-some million.
Okay.
So it's the most movie, like they were really thinking like Fall Guy
That failed.
and Furiosa. They really thought that those two films,
Furiosa did as well as Fury Road did, so
yeah, they really thought those two films were going to be the first big summer blockbusters. But I think Ride or Die is the summer's first blockbuster.
It has enough people going out to the theaters to go see it.
So I mean, I could be wrong. We'll check this. We'll check the estimates. We'll check the box office stats tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure this killed it for the weekend. I think this is the first summer blockbuster.
What, Garfield isn't the first summer blockbuster?
I'm still debating whether or not I want to see Garfield.
I couldn't care less. I was so into Garfield as a kid that I think I got it all out of my system. I'm over it by now. Garfield's what, 30, 40 years old now?
Like 40, yeah, definitely. And it's Chris Pratt. Like, are we all kind of sick of Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I will say his Mario wasn't as horrible as I expected, but it still wasn't Mario. It should have been somebody with like a Brooklyn accent or something like that. But oh well.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garfield with like a heavy New York accent. Yeah.
Well, Garfield,
Brooklyn especially.
Garfield to me will always be Lorenzo Music.
Lorenzo Music. Yeah.
That is the defining Garfield voice.
This is Carlton, your doorman.
And nobody else has done as good a job or as appropriate a job.
Did you get that reference?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
That was his first real role on TV, at least.
Yeah. Wrote as doorman.
Yeah. Which is why he was hired as Garfield, because he just had the right voice.
It was perfect because his voice was just like emotionless, and
it was just dry.
Very dry, very lazy.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very Garfield-esque. It's just, you could see a very lazy cat.
Although
speaking like that.
Although in the trailers for the new Garfield, I do like that they're staying on the theme that he just inhales whatever's in front of him. It's gone within half a second.
That trait has always stuck around.
Yeah. And that's always going to be like part of the charm of Garfield. He likes food.
Yeah.
So we need to get back to Ride or Die. Then.
Yeah, we've gone way off the rails here. Let's see. What else can I ask you about it?
Well, I mean, probably we should talk about a little bit of plot here, right?
Oh, well, I figured it's, another shoot 'em up thing. There's been a murder and they must solve what gang did it. In order to do that, they have to infiltrate several gangs and shoot them all up, and eventually they make it out alive. Did I get it right?
Sure. But to be fair, I think we should talk a little bit about the plot.
Okay, fine.
Just a little.
Go ahead. Tell me, what is this film about?
So the ongoing Captain Howard, who has been played by Joe Pantoliano for the last four movies, for all four movies, he actually died in Bad Boys 3.
Oh.
Yes. And he was killed by who we discover in Bad Boys 3, killed by the Mike by Mike, the Mike's son that he didn't know that he had.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
So that Mike, who's played by Will Smith. So Armando is the name of the character. So Armando, of course, is sent to jail for that, and he was, he was a drug dealer, and so Bad Boys 4, basically Captain Howard has the Joe Pantoliano character is being framed for having involved funding money to these drug cartels. So it's Mike and Marcus's job to clear his name.
Okay, that's a standard trope too.
And they need to break Armando out of jail to help them, because Armando is the one person that can identify the person that's, because he basically tells them, he goes, no, the captain was not a shady guy, but I know who the shady guys are.
I gotcha.
So, but I need to identify.
So basically, he's playing Joe Pesci in Lethal Weapon.
Yes, but he's but that actor is the guy playing Armando, Jacob Scipio, is far better looking and much younger. He's Jacob Scipio is a really hot guy. So it's nice to have that kind of eye candy, So and the and Joe Pantoliano, even though he's dead, we saw him die in the last film. He's in this movie because he hides like these videos.
Okay.
These encrypted videos.
Gotcha. Messages from beyond the
Messages
grave.
from beyond to help them figure it out. He was like, so if you punks if you fuck ups haven't fucked everything up already and you're watching this, then this is what you got to do. Because he always says to them, this is, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. It was like the hard-nosed the chief of police. Yeah.
But Captain Howard is they very much admired him and their camaraderie and everything. So it's and Vanessa Hudgens, Alexander Ludwig, those Paula Nunez, those actors are from Bad Boys 3. They're all back for this. They're all part of the.
Well, it's only been a few years this time, so
they're part of the police team, and with the addition, we have Eric Dane, who is the villain in this film, and Eric Dane is probably most well known as one of the hot pretty doctors on Grey's Anatomy. He was Dr. Sloan, that all the ladies and gay boys went gaga over.
Okay,
but
I'll believe you.
No, I never watched Grey's Anatomy, but Eric Dane is on Euphoria, and you know that I am obsessed with Euphoria. He plays Jacob Elordi's bisexual dad, so it's just such a great show, and I think all the performances in Euphoria are outstanding. But anyway, that is the gist. That is the plot of Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die. I found it interesting. Tasha Smith plays Teresa, who is Marcus's wife, the Martin Lawrence character. And Teresa Randall has played her in all the other films, but for some reason Teresa Randall did not return. But Tasha Smith replaced her as Teresa this time around. So
she asked for too much money.
Perhaps, who knows? But there, in a nutshell, is Bad Boys 4. But anyone who's a fan of the franchise, go see it. You won't be disappointed. It was, again, I have to keep saying this. I told my buddy that I went and saw it with yesterday. It's like, this was worth the 17 plus 4 years.
Gotcha. Finally, it's been redeemed itself.
Yes. So I don't know if Adil and Bilall will make a fifth Bad Boys. But who knows? That with the success of this film, it's possible. I definitely think Martin Lawrence and Will Smith have teased that. Oh, I want to say, like, also too, for any of you brought up the slap earlier. There's a really fun reference to the slap.
I've heard
in the movie.
Yes,
yeah.
I didn't read actually what it was or anything, but it sounds, sounds good.
If you feel like sort of Will Smith deserves a bit of a punishment, there is a little bit of like that slap reference and vindication,
Nice.
For those of you
Very good.
who are still mad at him. But after seeing Ride or Die, it's hard for me to be mad at Will Smith. I'm so endeared to those characters. They've been part of my lives for so long, and
Nice. So we'll see in a few more years, because Hollywood never makes anything new anymore. So they'll most likely be a Bad Boys 5 at some point. It'll end up being like Fast and Furious, where there's a new movie every couple of years.
I will say, I think it's just really interesting, the two films being by Michael Bay, who has had cameo appearances in the last two films.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is interesting. And then
he's taking time off of doing Transformer work.
Yeah, and then turning the franchise over to Adil El Arbi and Bilall. It's fun. It's fun. The two have brought it, have kept it. What we've all wanted to be, and especially more so. I think they really just doubled down in Bad Boys 4 what was so much of Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2.
Just high paced, implausible action.
Yeah, and just really corny, silly humor.
Yeah. Weird quips as they're shooting people.
Yeah, it's just it's a fun film.
Sounds like you liked it.
I loved it.
So here's the question, though. You have this 24-hour film festival going from Saturday to Sunday at noon to noon. Do you show it at this festival?
I would show Bad Boys Ride or Die at my film festival.
Okay.
And I definitely would.
When would you show it? Yeah.
I would show it late. I think it would be a Midnight Madness thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think the fans of the franchise would really appreciate that. Because we'll save all the art house surreal stuff for every other hour throughout the festival. But let's keep Bad Boys Ride or Die. Let's put it in a fun time slot.
It's so accessible.
It's just sort of like mindless fun. You don't need to think. You don't need to analyze anything. You just go.
You're there for the ride.
Just have it. And I think that's just it. You said it perfectly. I think we fans of the Bad Boys franchise are there just for the ride.
And you got exactly what you wanted out of this one.
And more, yes.
Excellent. So, I'm still waiting with bated breath for you to say, "Oh, I'll show this at 3 a.m. on Sunday," or "Oh no, let's show this at 9 a.m. on Sunday."
I keep forgetting this is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I keep forgetting this is 24 hours.
It's 24 hours, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to start thinking about it.
You have a lot of hours to work with.
I've got hours, a lot to work with. Yeah, I see.
But it makes sense because your tentpole pictures would show up on Saturday afternoon and evening. But yeah, Sunday morning is still there for the weirdos.
Yeah, like me.
Uh-huh.
Who is clearly up at that
You're going to get up and you're going to watch a strange film and you're going to go to brunch.
Yes.
The brunch movie. I look forward to that. But for now, midnight showing of Ride or Die.
Oh yeah, I want the franchise kids to have a good time.
Show up in costume, what have you. So there you go. Anything else you want to add to this? I've got nothing else myself.
No, I want to say, Bad Boys Ride or Die. Go see it.
Awesome.
It's fine.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and slide into the outro, because we're not stopping recording this runaway train.
We're not.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bad Pop Song.
Movie edition.
Be sure to check out our website, badpopsong.com, for all the latest episodes, videos, links to the songs, films, and whatever we discuss. See some wonderful Bo videos and articles and other fun stuff. It's all good. Tune in next time when Bo continues to take us on his wondrous magic carpet ride of musical cringe. Till then, I'm Dan.
I'm Bo.
Have fun.